I didn't know how to do it.
You couldn't figure out how to do it?
I said, I
You?
I sent you the link and then it was like, join Zoom, sign in on the browser, do this. And I'm like, just let me join the freaking thing.
I love when a plan doesn't come together.
And then I just had to learn to click join the meeting with this thing he clicked specifically. And you guys were just waiting here. I joined my own meeting 3 times before I was like, oh, there they are. Nothing more embarrassing than like having to send like another link out because you did that, like in a professional situation, which it happens, but it's not fun. Or in my case, one time I had to message people doing a live stream podcast to be like, while like the message that comes up on the bottom of their screen that's broadcasting, like, can you let me in the room? Like,
No.
yeah, they're like, oh, it was in the spam. It was in my spam email. It was that was even worse, where it was like, I did have the link. It was in my spam. It was very funny. They were very funny guys. Hello,
Oh,
everybody.
well, hello, guys. How are you?
Doing? It's been a busy morning. How are you, bro?
Yeah, this is I'm pretty sure this is the first day of this week that I haven't had a ton of other things going on as well.
And me, I'm on vacation, so what do I care?
Hey, good for you. Good for you. It's a deserved vacation. You work hard. Trust me, I know you work hard. What a
All
week
right.
though. What a couple weeks. Yeah. Yeah, what's going on, Dad? What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, it's been what? We haven't done a talk for a podcast for what, a couple weeks now?
Well,
We skipped through. We took a hiatus a little bit.
a little bit, I guess you could say someone had to was off vacation. Eh.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody had to get off vacation, if you will. Um,
And then my weekends actually have been packed with performances, so when you weren't working, I was working. And then Brent awaits us to be like, when are we going to figure this out? And if he's not busy, then he joins us, and it's the blessing of the whole crew here.
there you go. So what have you been so busy with, Carter? I'll let you start off. We'll let
Well,
you we'll let you go.
yes, this week, last week, the last couple weeks, it's been a blur for a few reasons. One of the big things, at least in the professional Carter things goings on, is I did release. I brought this up at I think the end of our last podcast. I released a new album. It was my first full length album in 4 years, I think. Uh, I guess pretty traditional on that front, just to do that. But I'm a conceptual artist, and I write about things and stories like that. And this one is another album inspired by a book by physicist Michio Kaku, which recently my friends were hanging out. Not to side tangent myself here. We were hanging out, and my friends, who are all engineers and scientists and very intelligent people compared to musician and MBA me, uh, uh, we were talking about it, and I was just talking about it. And he goes, and he pronounced the physicist's name as Michio Kaku, and I'm like, wait, is that how it's pronounced? Because I guess I've only ever seen it written and been saying Michio, and he's a Japanese physicist, very famous one. But it was just a funny moment of being like, yeah, I don't know if I've been saying it right, but I've been saying it a lot because it's inspired by his work. So the album came out, been doing a lot of press rounds and little fun interviews about that and seeing reviews come in, album write-ups from different places across the world and the country has been really cool, and the support behind it has been really awesome. On top of that, like I said, I was playing a bunch of shows. I launched a new newsletter as part of my business of music business basics, my book series and music educator kind of side of things. And this newsletter is a very cool weekly, and it's been fun to just dive into that whole process and researching and writing and just kind of keeping that going. And then, of course, well, they don't know yet, but I had some house stuff going on where I woke up one day, or actually, I went to go to bed one night, and I looked at my ceiling, and there was just this crack going down the middle. And it was one of those moments where I was just like, is that how it was? That just kind of how it always is. And then the next day I looked at it, I'm like, no, 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 that's literally splitting. and I went through that whole adrenaline fueled panic of is the roof collapsing in, is the roof, what's going to happen, how much money is this going to cost, how is it going to get fixed, and all that. And it just had a couple people come out to look at it, and things weren't as bad as it seemed. But that's what I've just been having people come through the house to fix that. And now over the last week, it's been all repaired. Uh, and really, yeah, there's definitely been a lot of other stuff in between, finishing up books, working on new ventures, working on new things, getting ready for more fun stuff coming up. Just always, trying to make things happen and trying to sleep comfortably at night, you know.
What I thought was kind of funny, what you asked me to listen to one of your songs, your new songs, because you like to when you post these things on social media, you like to play them to a cartoon or something. Like you've done Peanuts, you've done Hey Arnold, and you said, "What does this song kind of remind you of?" And I'm listening to it, I'm like, I'm getting real Doug vibes. Doug was low key like into the like that jazzy sound, that sort of like that low key like do 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 sound, and it was and you said, "Oh my God, I can't believe I didn't think about that. That actually makes perfect sense with this song to take a scene from the show Doug, which was a Nickelodeon show."
Just like Hey Arnold or some of this other stuff that really resonates, which is cool. And that's how, in a marketing psychology, people can really connect to that. And in the lo-fi world, which is kind of where, you know, I'm in and I've been part of for a while, the anime usage of that too is very, very big with that Samurai Champloo and then just using a lot of stuff. But Brent, I need to follow up with you on that because since you mentioned that, I've been looking for a scene to use. And do you know of a scene specifically you can send me when we're not recording if you want, because I need it.
I think if you send me the song again, I can kind of think back and try to find a scene that would work really well with it.
And I just want all the listeners to just hear that he said, "Can you send me the song again?" Not, "Yeah, I'll go to my preferred listening platform and listen and give you royalties." He said, "Give me the song again for nothing. You man, you guy who always played your bass too loud under my bedroom growing up, not your bedroom." And by my, I mean Brent, not mine. The bass player amp was always under his room. And man, this guy, he's hilarious. But he always supported me. That is semi a joke, but he definitely would come down when it was a little too late and a little too loud because he'd be like, "What the?" It's but not. That's the first of many noise complaints I think I've gotten, Brent.
Where was I during all that time?
Working or napping on the love seat.
Ah, there you go. In the other rooms. I couldn't hear you. Hey,
Yeah,
Brent, I have a question for you. On your
Shoot.
on your first button, it looks like you've got something that's not a microphone. I don't know what that is. Is it just the design of the shirt, which is, a fancy shirt? You've got a button down collared shirt. I've got a knit shirt, so it's a little bit different. Your brother is wearing his travel soulfully shirt. Oh, there he goes. There's merchandising everywhere. Merchandising. Thank you very much. But what is that, Brent?
So this is a pin. This is not sponsored. This is from the Strike Gently Pin Company. They're out in California. This is specifically this is a Mobster Gator is what this is called. It's called Mob Gator. It's a pin that I like to wear on my shirt. I've actually have a few of different ones. I have three raccoons in a trench coat, which I just think is really funny, and then there's a business shark one that I also have, which usually goes better with this particular shirt because
Yeah.
sharks on this shirt. So yes, these are from Strike Gently Company. They are a pin and blanket company in California that I happened to discover again on social media. Talk about social media marketing. And I decided I thought these were really cool, and I decided to just get a few because I like wearing pins, but I also like to wear pins that you can actually wear everywhere. They're not inappropriate. So these are very, very fun pins to have around.
Okay. All right. Well,
Professional pins, as one
there
may
you
call
go.
them. I have a couple. I believe I was gifted some.
Yes, I did get you a couple that I thought fit you. Like the Stargazer is one of them, which I got you, and it's a kid lying in a field with just a bunch of stars, and I thought that fit your aesthetic perfectly.
It does. And then there was another one you got me that was the same kind of vibe. It was like a universe, galaxy kind of thing. And when when you sent me pictures of it at first, you remember what my response was?
Yeah, you thought there was a tie. It was like, why are you sending me something with a tire?
Yeah,
like
I
a
was like,
car
oh no,
tire.
I didn't. I wasn't like why. I was like, oh thank, because I was trying to be grateful. I was like, oh thanks, Brent, this is great. A space kid and a tire, cool. This is wonderful. And then he's like, what? And I looked in, I zoomed in on the picture, and I'm like, it's space, and it was a whole revelation. I'm like, yeah, of course he would do that because that's me. But that was really funny. 'Cause I did think it was a tire. Shout out to the unsponsored product plug.
And of course, I'm learning about all this as on a podcast. There you go. Dad knows nothing about any of this stuff at this point. Now he's learning. There you go.
What that fashion accessories exist? Are you not a
Ab, ab,
fashionable person?
I'm a very fashionable person. I just didn't know you guys were fashionable people, if you will, going through that process.
Well, let's correct yourself right there. I'm not a fashionable person. Brent's fashionable. Like I'm not. I'm only fashionable because of my elder brother. So like, here's one of the pin. Here's the tire.
There's the
Here's the
tire.
tire, which actually you can see it's an awesome space thing.
All right, cool. All right, great. All right, well, I'm glad I asked.
Yeah,
Um,
fine.
always good to be inquisitive, right?
That's how we get through innovation in life.
All right, Brent, your week. What have you been doing since last time we talked on these this way? I don't want
Well,
I don't want everybody to think we don't talk outside of this, and this is the only time we're talking. But
Do you
if
feel
it,
that way based on how we're talking, Dad? Do you think people are
sometimes
getting that vibe?
I just want to
Not
make
that
sure
we
people
have dinner every
understand.
week. Brent
Yeah,
talks to you guys every night. I
because
talk to Mom every day.
I just want people to understand this is not the only conversations we have with each other. Thank you very much. Go ahead, Brent. I'll be quiet now.
yeah, so I've been recovering from a pretty severe summer cold last week, and I'm finally feel like I'm finally getting over it. It was pretty rough at the time. But then this week, that was actually pretty good. I decided to run down and get my hair cut. So if those of you who are watching can see that my hair is quite a bit shorter than it has been the last couple times you've seen me.
Can I cut in and say, Brent, it's very sexy.
Thank
For
you.
all the listeners out there, you're missing out. All the single ladies, and if you're not even a single lady, check this guy out.
Now, we're not going to the Coldplay concert. Leave me alone here.
Yeah, what's the guy? I heard the CEO. Sorry, Brown. I want to get back to you, but I heard the CEO is going to try to sue them. The guy who got but I feel like that's just like when you play the sport. Like you bought a ticket. There's a suit. That's not the. You assume that you may be on something like that. I don't know. Go ahead. I want to hear your opinion.
The first day I saw that, which was, I guess, the night or the day after, and it was the whole hullabaloo. And the last thing I saw is there's still things going on social media that I saw through yesterday on this, and reading the comments underneath, people are going, "This is done. I don't want to see this anymore. I'm tired of this, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera." Anyway, after that was first done and that was first showed up and it first hit it, I I was talking with your mother and I said, he's going to sue. He's going to say that that his life was damaged because they didn't without his approval. They put this picture on the screen and they put it up and there and he's going to sue. Now, whether he's going to win or not, I have no idea. It's something you teach it. They taught us the first year in law school. Anybody can sue anybody at any time for
For
anything.
anything. Yep.
The question is whether they can win. And this is one where he may be going for a settlement. He may be going for whatever. He may be going for the publicity, or he may not do anything because he just wants it to die away. If he brings a lawsuit, this will bring everything back to light and bring everything up again. And so, will he bring a lawsuit? Time will tell. But the answer is, if he wants this to just simply fade away, he'll just let it fade away. But it's certainly an interesting dynamic, if you will, through that. I
Fade Away is a Sugar Ray song.
in the bottom line to this, I was waiting for the jokes to come out about this. But the first thing I did is I turned to your mother and I said, this will never happen to me. You don't have to worry. And she said, why are you saying that? I said, just because I don't like Coldplay. And so I
I was gonna
said,
say it's because you don't like going out.
well, I don't like going out either, so it's double. but I don't like going to concerts with 60,000 people or whatever it was there.
Same.
But it
I
was
like
just
playing them.
it's just the joke of, and I was kidding. Coldplay is fine. I'm not serious on that one, but I said that was
Coldplay and Taylor Who. They're great. I
yeah,
hear they're wonderful.
exactly. Exactly. If people don't know the reference to Taylor Who, you got to go back a couple episodes and figure out what that is and go back and listen. But it but it was one of those things that caught the fancy of the entire country, which was kind of insane. But as they say, and as is always that phrase, it is what it is. Brent, keep talking. We interrupted you as we went through it, but that's okay.
Well, I just wanted to mention with that before I move on here was I've seen some of the memes. I think one of the funniest ones was if anyone is a horror fan, they know the films the Terrifier series, which star the character Art the Clown, who is I mean, trust me, if you don't like horror movies, do not watch Terrifier as your first movie. You will be scarred for life. But it was so funny was because he's a white-faced clown. That's the character. And he does this really funny, like he's very expressive. So it's like, uh-oh, someone saw that. Uh-oh, they must be shy. And okay, I'm gonna go beyond now that. So back to what I was doing this week. So Tuesday I was poked and prodded, so to speak, 'cause I had to have blood work done, and yeah, that's always fun first thing in the morning. And then of course they also need other samples, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna take
And they
care of
poke
this.
and prodded you again for the other sample, right? They had to go the other direction. I saw
Well,
Chad
no, not in
laughing.
this situation, but yeah.
He knew that was also a thing when you said poke and prodded. It's like go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm gonna keep interrupting.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. I mean, I haven't had a blood test done in I don't even know how many years at this point, but I thankfully, all things considered, and in all the years, I'm pretty much healthy at this point.
That's good. That's good to hear.
Yeah,
One
you
more
also
thing.
had a physical too.
Yeah, that was a few weeks ago. Yes, I had a physical, and yeah, my doctor basically said, "Yeah, you're the kind of person I'm only going to maybe see once a year at this point."
Well, it's good. All right. Well, as I said before, I'm on vacation this week. I'm out of the office. Although with computers and everything else under the sun and cell phones and emails and texts and everything else, you're never too far from the office. Although I'm getting um, writ, writtenly yelled at to stay off of this stuff from the office concern, and so I basically said, "All right, fine. You guys find me if you need me, but don't find me unless it's an emergency." So the office is doing a good job of doing that and working through that process. So this week has been pretty good. We've gotten to the gym a couple times already this week, which was great. Didn't get there, two times in a row, Tuesday, Wednesday. We're doing this on a Thursday so that I didn't yeah, I'm breaking the fourth wall, Carter. Thank you very much. Um,
No, they don't. They can't know. They cannot know.
and so we got through that, but it's just taking it easy. It's the dogs are here and they're a little bit crazy. Um, we've had to separate them a little bit because of one being away at boot camp, getting trained a little bit, which he's going through that process. We have another one who is just starting heat. And so we're trying to, and she's gets a little nasty when she's going through this. I won't say anything other than we've got to separate her from the other dogs so that and she's the smallest of everyone of all the dogs. So she's the one who's most likely to either beat up on the other ones because they'll be a little bit more gentle with her because she's smaller, or get the wrath of everything because she is the smallest one, so they all take care of her. And so we're trying to keep her a little separated, a little calmer, and a little bit just more protected. But your mother is doing most of that work at this point, as you guys can figure out, and I'm just filling in. There's a lot of things when you see people with animals on the internet where the husband is called the spare, and so I'm the spare, if you will, which means I'm the backup when the principal provider is not available, which I always thought was pretty funny. It's That's part of the issue that was there. So did that. Just the normal, what's for dinner, and that's always, that's always an interesting process. And it's always about 3 or 4 o'clock. Okay, what are we doing for dinner? It's going one way or the other. Mom coming to me going to mom, and it's I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? So one night we went out, which was good. We did Italian food. Last night we did takeout and brought in. We had Chinese food. It's so I don't know what we're doing tonight, other than perhaps eating leftovers and trying to figure out how to put it together.
So you're gonna have some Italian and Chinese mixed together. Sounds like something I would eat.
Sounds like an international party. Yes,
Sounds like the Grand Buffet,
yes. There you go.
old country.
I was going to say, did you mention the fact that the Italian place you went to is owned by a longtime friend of Carter's?
Well,
Yeah,
it's not owned by
it's not
not.
my free. He is my.
No,
He doesn't own it.
he
His
No,
doesn't
his
own it.
father.
father
I'm
The
owns
sorry,
it.
parent.
his parents own it. I'm sorry, that's what I meant to say. It's owned by the parents of a longtime friend of Carter's.
Right.
Which is cool. I remember going to that place. I guess it was. This is a different storefront, I think, now from the one I'm thinking they moved. But
Different location. Yeah.
obviously, this is at this point. This is probably 17, 18 years ago that I'm this memory. 16 years ago, maybe. Getting pizza from there with Yosef and a bunch of the friends from high school and everything. And fun fact, this is actually Brent. This is the randomest fun little fact that you made me think of. My other friend who does own a restaurant with his wife, shout out Dara Thai, unsponsored product plug, in Philadelphia. Ramsey, at their wedding, Yosef was the DJ.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You had
Yosef,
said that
because
before.
Ramsey asked me, he's like, hey, do you know anybody? I'm like, I know a guy. I know a guy because Yosef does a lot of. Yosef's an interest. He's a very cool dude. We played a lot of music back in the day. He is a lawyer and a DJ. And I don't know if he's still practicing, but like he was a lawyer and now he's DJing all the spots around Philly, Xfinity Live, all the like the Phillies pre games and post game stuff. So yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. Chase your dreams. I just found out not to go on this way, and we can go down the chase your dreams thing. A friend of mine. Sorry, let me tell you this random thing, random week thing that came up. I bought a mixer last week. Not a cooking mixer, but like a new little. Did
You said that, and the first thing I said is, "What are you doing? Baking now? What's going on
Well,
here?"
that's what I'm saying. I had to think of the context of me. So like I spend money on like a few things and usually it's music related. It's equipment, it's promotion money, it's something that has to do with music. And this is too. I got a new like bigger mix, input thing. It makes my live shows easier. It's cool. I'm going to start just testing out a little more because on Facebook Marketplace, and I wasn't looking for it, but like it came up and it was half the price of what I was finding when I saw the other listings. I was like, usually 300. I asked if I could pay like a buck 40. He's like, can you do a buck 50? Yes. Cool. Went and met this dude over by Boathouse Row. He comes up to me. He goes, hey man, Carter, I don't know if you remember. I don't know if we actually met, but I played music with, and I know, and I'm really good friends with a friend of yours, Matt Conway, who I played music with like 10 years ago, who I went to high school and middle school with, and we were just going off. And it's this mixer that my friend Conway and his band used to use. And I haven't talked to this guy in years since probably 2018, 19, definitely pre-COVID. And I'm like, dude, I gotta hit this guy up because this is such a small world that this mixer kind of now continues this life. It's going to be in part of my live shows. I already used it last night for stuff. And I text Conway, and you know what he says? He tells me, "Hey man, I'm a pilot now."
I thought he was going to say, "Hey, who are you?"
Well, that would be I've done that to people, unfortunately. But I'm so paranoid. I always text people, "Hey, it's Carter." If I haven't talked to you in a long time, because I understand things change, and even the numbers, so I could be texting the wrong person. Sometimes people text me, "Hey, I'm da da da," and I'm like, "Is this a spam text?" But I texted Conway. He's like, "Hey man, blah, 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 I'm doing good." I'm literally a commercial airline pilot now. He flies the regional 2-1 planes, Brent. You know those really well, right? And
Oh yeah, took plenty of those in my day.
yeah, and he sent me a pic from the cockpit of flying from New Hampshire back to Philly, and I'm just like, dude. In last time I talked to you, we were playing music. You were kind of running a dog food company that your mother kind of had, and you were you're an aeronautical space engineer grad from Penn, this thing. And he was just like, I just got burnt out from music, and I went back and started doing that. And he's a freaking like, I don't know. That was really like, I guess it's the age of like independent of life and reality and like really making the things happen. Like I said, another friend of mine owns a freaking restaurant down in Philadelphia. He's been talking about owning a restaurant since the day I met him freshman year of college. Like that was one of his. He's doing all his thing. It really was a cool moment, and it just makes me want to continue pursuing the things that in your heart you really want to do. And I mean, Brent, I don't want to speak on your own experience here, but I feel like mom and dad really instilled in us that like do that. You know, there's a lot of experience of growing up and being like, hey, you got to go do this, you got to go do, told what to do, guided, but like really go be a doctor, go be a lawyer, go do this. I've talked to dad how many times growing up about wanting to be a lawyer, and he consistently was like, unless that's your freaking dream goal, massive thing, don't do that yet. Do the music, do this, work on this thing, go chase that aspect, write the things, write the books, write the screenplays, go out and try the things, be an extra in a movie. You don't know who you're going to start connecting with. Go out to LA and on a quote unquote vacation and just get out there more. If you want to be a pilot, which I know members of the family in the past ended up having that dream. I personally don't know if I'll ever have that one. I get motion sickness, but like I don't know. It just blew me the frick away when he's like, I'm a frickin' pilot for like American Airlines, or I don't know if it what airline, but I don't know. It was very cool, and yeah. So thank you, mom and dad, for encouraging us, me and Brent, to chase the dreams. I mean, I've toured around the world playing music, and it's been 10 years of that. I've played in a film with Lucy Hale, and I never got to meet her. Fun fact. Didn't have anything to meet with anybody. But I think that's how Hollywood works. Uh, it's just keep doing it. 6-time Amazon best-selling author on your own. Keep it moving. That's why Brent, I'm like Brent, all been wanting to be a freaking journalist and host and news and man for as long as I knew him, and he still does the do. And he's got a great haircut.
Okay, guys, time to become lawyers.
Well,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
someone was even talking about how crazy. I mean, one, the do. I still think about that, Dad. I still think about. But you still tell me because I've brought this up, especially in my consulting work with certain aspects. He's like, no, you'll do what you're doing. Continue the paths.
Well, I think it's funny, not necessarily the lawyer
Don't
path.
interrupt, Dad. Brent, how dare you? He was about to speak.
Go ahead, Brent.
Well,
I yield the floor.
not taking the
No,
lawyer
I
path.
don't yield. I'm a go ahead, Brent. I'm sorry.
I had a friend who once told me I should be a judge, not only because I seem to understand how to listen to what's presented and how to create and, figure out, parse out what is, true, what is false. Because as a reporter, I used to have to sit in on trials every now and then. And it was always weird that I could somehow guess what the verdict was going to be based on what I heard, even though obviously I'm not the judge, I'm not the jury, I have no say in it. And I said to Justine, I said, I wouldn't want to go through all that, having to listen to all that day in and day out. I just couldn't do it. Just because I understand it doesn't mean I want to do it, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, that's interesting. I once had a date tell me I was too understanding and we're not going out again. So talk about being understanding. I know where you're getting it from. Um,
I once had a date who ghosted me immediately afterwards.
Only one?
It's been a few, but it was definitely one where I was like, "Wait, what happened?"
Oh, we're not going into those stories. A, I don't want to hear yours, and B, you don't want to hear mine. The
No, no, you can leave them for afterwards. Leave
Right,
them
exactly.
leave them in the with the turtle.
You're exactly. It's interesting that you're saying that about other people. You're saying that about yourselves. That was one of the things that we always said is that was that um, I was a lawyer. I also have a CPA. I also worked as an accountant for a couple of years at starting up. So that was really the timing of things for me. I don't know exactly if those were the things I would have wanted to do. I think I just wanted to um, relax and not do anything through the years, but you couldn't really do that and eat, which was another thing I obviously wanted to do through the years. Um, but we always said for the kids, they've got to do what they want to do. And I think we said this before, Carter. At one point, you wanted to be a weatherman, weather person, or had designs of doing that. Brent's always wanted to be on the news from, as long as I can remember. And I think it goes back to even in the high school that he went to, that you went to, that you were able to do design on the or not design. You would do anchoring on the air uh, uh, in high school, and it was a local broadcaster. That was all something that you knew you designed early on, and you could learn in high school whether you wanted to do it, and got the experience of trying that, which always makes it interesting. So the answer is on this: chase your dreams, see what you want to do, and continue to do it. Even at this point, I'm still trying to figure out, what I want to do when I grow up. It's still the question of how you want to do this and where you want to go and how you want to continue on through that process. So good stuff, good things, keep it going, keep looking for what you want to do, but follow your dreams, and if if you stop, you're never going to get there. There's an old saying, you always miss 100% of the shots you do not take. And if you take them and you miss, you know what? You keep taking them until you figure out. The answer is, you see all this stuff, but the motivation of all of this is when you get to the end of the day, you want to say, even if you fail at what you're doing, at least I tried. At least I try to do what I want to do. Chances are good you're not going to fail. I mean, it's so interesting talking to young people, and I've done a bunch of that through the years of people wanting to know, high school students, college students, trying to figure out what they wanted to do with their life. And they looked at me and said, "Wow, you have a CPA, you're a lawyer, you're practicing, you've worked in big firms and you worked in small firms and you've worked in industry and you've gotten big titles in organizations and everything, and you worked in management, and you worked in direct provision of services, as an attorney, obviously. And so, what can you tell me? I said, you just got to work. You got to do what makes you happy. You got to do what makes you want to get up in the morning and go somewhere, even if somewhere is at your table or in your studio in your house, to continue on doing what you're doing. Um, yeah, Carter's looking around. What is that? The so
What is
yeah,
what? This is my studio office. I
I
do a
know
lot of
what
work
that is.
here.
I know what that is, and so you keep blasting through this stuff, and you just keep moving forward, and that's what life is. And then you get to the end, and you say, "Yeah, this was good."
I think on that, I think that we can say this podcast was good. And we may have gotten to the end of it. What are we thinking?
Yeah, well, it's up. It's well. Anything else to talk about today? If not, we can say thanks everybody and see you next time.